We at Fly Tying Step by Step would like to explain the methods, the theory and the reasoning, as well as principles behind fly tying. We show you step-by-step instructions for specific fly patterns that have been proven over the years. Also a few new patterns that we are developing and we believe will be good producers. We are going to tie a micro caddis pattern in a merger style. So for the materials that we will be using, in the vise I've got a size 16 caddis hook. Then I've put a 3.2mm bead on it. We are going to weight it a little bit more with some lead wire in 0.015 diameter. For the body we are going to use a light olive dubbing. For the collar and thorax, or actually for the thorax, we are going to use a rusty orange dubbing. For the back we are going to use some brown goose bites. For the ribbing, a gold tinsel, holographic tinsel. And for the collar we are going to use two materials that we will blend. The one is a light olive CDC fibers, and then also a bull flash. The thread that I'm going to use is a 8/0 in light olive. And if you have all your materials ready, we can start tying. So first of all, we will start with the lead wire. I'm just going to add a drop of super glue as well to help me in securing the lead wire to the shank. Especially on these small flies, I prefer to use my hackle pliers just to grab those lead wire and just wrap them around the hook shank. It's just sometimes easier than trying to get your fingers in those small spaces. With a few wraps on there, I'm just going to add a tiny drop of super glue. I'm going to push those lead wraps in there. With that in place, I'm going to use my Norvise, the rotary function by Norvise, to just spin that lead wire. There we go. You didn't see it properly at first, but now we are good. After we've done the lead wraps, we are going to start with our thread. I'm starting just behind the lead wraps. Built up a bit of a ramp that will also help me with my taper. The lead wraps you can make more or less. It depends on how fast the water is that you will be fishing. The principle is you want to get your flies down as fast as possible and keep them in the zone. After I've done my wraps at the back, I'm going to put in my tinsel. You can do a few wraps over the lead as well, but seeing that I've put super glue on there, it's not really mandatory because the lead won't batch. So just a few wraps to secure that, and then a goose bite. You can use other colors for the bite as well, dark olive, light olive. I just like the contrast between the light olive body and the goose bite. With that in place, we will start with our light olive dabbing. You don't want to make the body too thick. This Norvise really makes putting your dabbing on your thread so easy. As you can see, I've got quite a thin body there, not spun too tightly, but it's not very loose either. A few wraps to secure it, and then I'll take my goose bite over the top, place it on top of my hook shank, just 2 loose wraps over it so that I can position my goose bite right on top of the fly, or the shank of the hook, secure that. And then I'll do a half hitch just to secure my thread so that it doesn't slip off like it just did. With that in place, we can start our ribbing. 2 or so wraps on the shank and then just come up. The goose bite can be a bit slippery for the tinsel, but it's not impossible. With that in place, we can secure it. Trim off the excess. This I'm spinning quite tightly onto the thread. That's it. Just creates a very nice hotspot. Okay, with that in place, I'm going to cut off some of these CDC fibers, and also you want your collar to be quite sparse, don't want to overdo it. So now that the thread is flat, I'm just going to split it, put those fibers in there, keep tension on your thread so that the materials don't slip out, and then just give it a few spins so that it can catch the CDC and the flesh. So as I wrap it behind the bead, I'll just pull back on those fibers so they lie flat to the back, and with that done, we can whip finish. It's actually a very simple fly to tie. I haven't fished it yet. I'll be going in the near future to fish it, but I believe that this will be a good producer. It's got a few elements that acts as triggers. We've got some flash with the ribbing, we've got some flash with the collar, we've got a hot spot in orange, we've got contrast between the brown back and the light olive, we've got a bead also with a bit of shine in that, of course, and of course the weight. It will get down to where these insects will be living. So after you've done that, you can always just brush it out a little bit, just to have it lie flat to the back, and also just brush out some of that orange dubbing so that it blends into the collar. But there you have it, a micro caddis size 16 with a hotspot. Thank you for watching fly tying step by step. If this video was of help to you or informative, feel free to subscribe to our channel. Also give us a thumb up, and then also you are welcome to join our Facebook page, Fly Tying Step by Step, and enjoy your fly fishing and your fly tying. Bye.